How restaurants have innovated to face the pandemic. It's Friday night during a pandemic and you're in the mood to eat out. So you open up a popular delivery app, pick a trendy looking burger joint and place your order. But here's the thing, the restaurant you just ordered from doesn't exist. They have no tables, no storefront, and no waitstaff. In fact, there is no kitchen. Your order went to a ghost kitchen, and your food was prepared at a nearby catering shop, or maybe even at the chain restaurant around the corner. Ghost kitchens, sometimes also called cloud kitchens, are just one of many business and technical innovations restaurants have adopted in the last year to survive the economic pressures of the pandemic. Now, according to the National Restaurant Association, industry sales were down $240 billion in 2020 from an expected $899 billion, which is comparable to 2019's $863 billion in sales. The pressure on businesses to upend long-standing practices has given rise to new restaurant concepts, technologies, and organizational structures, hoping to find resilient methods in unpredictable times. From QR code menus to the adoption of pickup and delivery options to total organizational shifts, food industry businesses and workers across America have had to change or innovate in the face of COVID-19 and its economic impacts.
The biggest effect on the industry was likely the mass closures and limitations on indoor dining, which pushed many restaurants to adopt pickup and delivery options as their main source of income. In their 2021 report, the National Restaurant Association found that 53% of adults consider takeout or food delivery essential to the way they live. As restaurants were closing throughout the country, leaving kitchen staff without work, 2 chefs in Washington, D.C. set out on a new food adventure. Recently furloughed, they used the global pandemic as a springboard for their own business idea. Chefs Teresa Padilla and Geraldine Mendoza opened Taqueria Xochi, a Mexican street food-inspired venture. Within months of opening, the restaurant began to thrive, in part because they chose to embrace a pickup and delivery-only model to maintain social distancing measures with customers. To be honest with you, I never thought I would ever open a restaurant, especially during a pandemic, said Mendoza, the director of operations. It just kind of snowballed. Both Padilla and Mendoza worked at the D.C. area restaurant China Chilcano as a chef and house manager respectively, when they were furloughed. Padilla had over a decade of experience in the industry and wanted to bring semitas and other traditional Mexican street food to the D.C. area. Mendoza explained that their success largely came from word of mouth. People come and they love the food and they hear our story, she said. We're very grateful for everyone who has helped us. The exterior of Taqueria Xochi in Washington, D.C. Photo by Courtney Vinapol PBS NewsHour. Their success, first as a pop-up, then as their own physical space on New Street, has led them to plan a second location in the Adams-Morgan neighborhood of D.C. complete with in-house dining and enough room for Padilla to expand the menu and try more things. While Taqueria Xochi was originally built for pickup and delivery, many existing restaurants have had to adopt the practice as their primary form of business. According to a study by the National Restaurant Association in 2019, 60% of restaurant meals were consumed off-premise, likely because of the increased use of apps like Uber Eats and Grubhub. When the pandemic hit in 2020, that percentage jumped up to 90%. In 2020, Uber Eats generated $4.8 billion in revenue, a 152% increase from $1.9 billion in 2019. Huertas, a Spanish-inspired restaurant in New York City that started in 2014, found a slightly different method of delivery through a monthly subscription service called Table 22. Through this method, they were able to deliver food and drinks both locally and on a national scale. Through this service, subscribers around the US can get their curated tins of seafood conserva, while local New Yorkers can also get wines and cheeses. Jonah Miller, the owner and executive chef, said the delivery service has actually been easy to integrate into the restaurant's daily routine of the new innovations, with the exception of outdoor dining. It's the only one we're planning to do indefinitely, he said. For some, the shift toward pickup and delivery came with a revelation: you don't need a storefront at all to have a restaurant. Enter the ghost kitchens. One such company within this sphere is Virtual Dining Concepts, who run several brands such as NASCAR Refuel, Mariah's Cookies, in partnership with Mariah Carey, and Mr. Beast Burger in partnership with Jimmy Donaldson, the titular YouTube star with nearly 65 million subscribers. The channel's content, with titles like I Ate a $70,000 Golden Pizza and Last to Leave Pool of $20,000, keeps it commonly revolves around pranks and challenges with outrageously large amounts of money at stake. Virtual Dining Concepts borrows small business kitchen space and staff who produce food for the virtual brands alongside their existing demand. Robert Earl, the co-founder of Virtual Dining Concepts, said the model can help struggling kitchens survive. It's very gratifying, he said. The Mr. Beast Burger app topped downloaded charts in both the Apple and Android app stores when it launched in December 2020 and now is driving orders to more than 600 kitchens around the US. Earl, who also founded Planet Hollywood in the 1990s, said he anticipates this concept will continue to grow even after the pandemic subsides. It's only a matter of time, he said. 4 to 5 years from now, there will be very few restaurants that don't have a virtual brand. Delivery apps have also picked up on this trend and are looking to promote and expand into it themselves. DoorDash recently opened a pop-up ghost kitchen in San Jose, California. The location is occupied by 6 restaurants already established in the area, but with a focus on a streamlined delivery experience. While some restaurants may not be ready to move into the ghost realm, they've swapped some common physical restaurant materials for digital counterparts during the pandemic, namely menus. QR code menus were brought into over half of casual dining establishments according to research by the National Restaurant Association. Using a QR code menu, a restaurant doesn't need to print physical paper menus. Diners scan a QR code using their phones, which takes them to an online menu to view what dishes are available that day. Around a quarter of all restaurants also added the option to order food through their mobile app, even for in-dining customers. Both of these methods minimize the amount of contact between guests and servers.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.